welcome to the practice test by LTV English. I am Fungan and I will be your examiner today. So first, could you introduce me your first name, please?
Okay, my first name is Lan.
Okay, do you work or are you a student?
Well, I'm a full-time teacher at LTVEnglish High School. Besides, I am a curriculum developer at a foreign language center.
Okay, do you live in Vietnam City or elsewhere?
Well, I have been living all of my life here. I have never lived anywhere else besides Vietnam City.
Okay, let's start with the first part. I'm gonna ask you a few questions about the stages of life. Are you happy with your life right now?
Well, I would say I'm quite happy emotionally and financially. I can support myself, my whole family. Besides, I do yoga every day, so I'm quite healthy.
Okay. What is your plan over the next 5 years?
Well, I'm the kind of person who live for the moment, so actually I don't have any serious plan for even the next year. But I could say that I'm trying my best to finish what I have set out for this year, 2021. I would work harder to make my center develop.
Okay. What is the most important thing you've done in your life?
The most important thing? Well, I can say that establishing this language center is, I can say that something that is beyond my wildest dream. Yeah? So I'm trying my best.
Okay, so what is your opinion of different stages of life?
Well, I think each stage of life has its own meaning, its own mission. I am at a stage, I can say that it is the middle stage of a person's life. When I look at my children, I can say that they are at a stage where they can live to the fullest. And when I look at my grandparents, I can say that every day they have to suffer a lot of pain in their body. And I think that at each stage you can live to the fullest. It depends on you, not on anyone else or any other factors, outside factors.
Okay. What age do you think is the happiest?
For me, I think childhood is the most happiest stage of life. Whenever I look at my children, I can say that their mission, their main duty in a day is playing, studying, eating, and sleeping. But when I ask them, they always complain about getting bored. Yeah, because they have limited freedom. They usually wish that they were older, so they have more freedom to do whatever they want.
Okay. Do you want to become older or younger?
Yeah, I really wish to become younger. Now, if I could turn back time, then I think I could have taken better care of my health. You know, after giving birth to my second child, my hair fell at an alarming rate. And if I were younger, I could do differently. I would take better care of my hair, my skin, or my health. I would eat more healthily.
Okay, thank you for your answer for part 1. Okay, so now we're gonna come to part 2, and I will give you a topic and I would like you to speak for 2 minutes. But before you speak, you will have 1 minute to prepare for your answer. You can think in your head or you can write down some notes if you want. This is a piece of paper and a pen for you to take some notes. And your topic is describe a bad decision you made. Okay. Okay, so remember you have 2 minutes to speak and don't freak out if I cut you off. I will tell you when the timer is over. And could you start speaking now, please?
Okay, I would say that it was not a really bad decision. But if I had a second chance, I would have done differently. I would, I'm sure that I wouldn't have made that decision. You know, about 3 years ago, after hearing many negative comments about my appearance, I decided to do something about it. On the recommendation of my close friend, I went to California Yoga and Fitness Center, and you know, on the spur of the moment, I bought a training package with a personal trainer. Although it was not beyond my means at the time, but looking back, I can say that it was really a big sum of money. At that time, a big sum of money. After training for a period of time, I realized that I didn't achieve the goals that I set in the beginning. I didn't get slimmer. I even gained some weight, and I really irritated about that. Honestly, there were many factors affecting the results of my training. First thing I could say that it was because of my I didn't do it on a regular basis because of my heavy workload. I didn't have a plan for eating. I just ate whenever I wanted. And despite my PT advice, I still went to bed early. I went to bed. I stayed up late to finish my work, and I didn't have energy the next morning to do the training. So the result was not what I expected. I think I should have consulted my husband about what I'm going to do before making the decision. He knew a lot about training, and through what he did with himself, I can see that what he did was really effective for him. And I know if I asked him about it, I think the result would have been different. Anyway, I have learned something about that experience. I knew more about PT world, I knew more about general health and how muscles work, but I didn't apply anything to myself, and I really regret it.
Okay, thank you for your answer. So, are you still working out these days?
Yes, I still go to the gym 3 days a week, and I do yoga.
Okay, so you learned anything from that experience that you regretted?
Yeah, I think that if you want to achieve the goals that you set, you should have stick to the plan that, for example, the BT has set for you, and I realized I didn't do that.
Okay, very good. So now, yeah. All right. So now we're gonna come to part 3, and I'm gonna ask you some more questions about making decisions. The first question is, how do you think that computers help people make decisions?
Well, you know, making a decision is not a piece of cake for most people, and computer is anyways is just a machine, and what it does has been programmed for it. And for human being, if they want to make a decision, they have to take into consideration many factors. For example, if the situation allows, if it affects other people negatively, I myself have to think, have to have second thoughts before making decisions. So I don't think computer is very effective in helping people to make a decision.
Okay. What decisions do people make every day?
Yeah, people. I think I myself face many decisions every day. From the moment I wake up, when I'm still lying in bed, I have to make a decision between whether to get up and begin a new day or lying in for another 13 minutes, for example. They just in consequential decisions, and during your day you have to make other bigger decisions that affect not just you but other people around you.
Okay. Can children make decisions on their own?
Yeah, from my experience, I can say that they can't. Many times I try letting my children making her own decision, and I think that parents should help their children make informed decisions. For example, you should warn your children of the consequences of their actions before they decide to do something themselves.
Okay. So when do people change their decision?
Well, I would say that two different kinds of people. For indecisive people, they tend to reserve the decision to the last minute, or they keep changing their decisions during the process. But for others, they tend to change a decision when there are better options appearing.
What influence does changing decisions have on the future?
Well, I think when you decide to change your decision, you can expect better or worse results of the future. But for better or for worse, that's what you have expected, and I think you can learn something about that experience. About if it is better, then it is also a lesson for you, and if it is worse, it is also something you can learn from your mistake.
What kind of decisions do teenagers face nowadays?
Well, I would say teenage is a stage that you have to make a lot of important decisions in your life. You have to decide which career path you're going to follow and the kind of person you want to become in the future. The way you dress, the kind of food you eat, so that you have a good appearance, or you can stay in shape. And I think teenagers have to make a lot of important decisions, and they have to face a lot of pressure from their peers and their parents alike.
How important is it to get advice from other people when making decisions?
Well, I think in some way it is very important, because when you decide to turn to someone for advice, you know that person is more experienced than you in many aspects. Different people have different perspective about life and different experience, so I think it's really important. But the person who can make the right decision for themselves is that person. Because for example, if you ask someone for advice, and you say, if you were me, what would you do in that situation? And then the person who were asked to give advice just give the advice for themselves if they were in the situation, not for yourself. So I think you are the most important person in making a decision for yourself.
Okay, thank you for all your answers, and this is the end of our practice test.
Thank you.